Hey everybody, Mike Drutar, Principal Broker, NextHome Paradise Realty. Today we're going to bring you a market report. I know I haven't done this in a long time. We're going to look at Q1 2024. I haven't been bringing these to you guys as often because honestly I don't get quite as many views, but I do know some of you like it. So I kind of made a deal with myself that when we have interesting months or quarters that I'll bring some information to you, and we've got an interesting start of the year. 2024 is not going quite like I expected. Is it crashing? I don't think so. We're going to look at some data here. We've got the thinking glasses on and we are ready to go. I'm going to look at a couple reports here. First, we're going to look at the month of March. This is when things really became kind of clear to me that it's getting a little bit hot. A lot more than expected. I was expecting one type of year and it looks like we're getting another type of year. So let's look at just the month of March, and I'll get to Q1 also, and you're going to see these numbers really get impressive. We're going to start off with the units sold. We're going to track 4 main markets: South Kohala for the houses, South Kohala for the condos. We're also going to track North Kona for the houses and North Kona for the condos. Okay, those are our 4 main markets. Sometimes we combine them, and I'll let you know when we're doing that when we look at some of these numbers. Okay, so in the month of March, we had 13 houses sold in South Kohala. Now that was down 9 from March of last year when we had 22. We had 20 condos sold. That was up 2. In North Kona, we had 36 houses sell. That's up 7. And 32 condos sold. That's down 3. So we can kind of put these numbers together. We have -9 plus 2, so that's 7. Then we got, or 7 negative, and then we got 7 houses. That evens us out to 0, and then -3 in the North Kona condos. So we're down 3 units overall for the month of March, and those 4 tracked units combined over last year. Now, usually I would say, okay, maybe the market's going down a little bit. No way, man. The number that we're seeing here is pretty bananas. Now, first, South Kohala residential, median price of $925,000. That's not too crazy. It's an increase of 5.71% over March of last year. Condos, $1,040,000. That's an increase of 8.05% over last year. Here's where the number gets pretty crazy. North Kona residential. And you know, we had a good number of units. We just saw that we had 7 more than last year. All right. Median price, $1,475,000. That is really, really high. And March last year was still good, $1,277,000. We're up 15% in North Kona residential. Nearly $1.5 million is the median price. That is pretty spectacular. Condos, $612,000 is the median price, up 5.52%. Let's look at quarterly numbers now, because maybe we're just having a crazy month there in North Kona, right? The South Kohala residential median price for the first quarter, so far this year, we've got 3 months of data in. It's not just one weird month. South Kohala median price, $1,007,500, up 12.89%. South Kohala condos. Now last year these took a beating. They went down quite a bit, double digits if I remember right. Well, the median price now, first quarter, $1,035,000. That's up 11.89%. So both those numbers are right around 12%. That's pretty good. North Kona residential median price for the first 3 months of this year, $1,385,000, up 26.77%. Condos, $605,000, up 6.61%. So we are seeing positive growth on all 4 tracked categories. Now, a lot of people out there in other parts of the country, this is why I bring this to you, they're not seeing this. They have different market dynamics. They're much more interest rate sensitive than we are here. We still have a lot of cash buyers coming into this market. And yeah, that number, almost 1.4 million for the first quarter of this year. I don't suspect that number will hold. I feel like it will come down, but that's still a really impressive number. I'm going to go back to an old report here. Some of you will remember this slide. I've got it updated now. This is looking at some long-term trends. Looking at units sold. And then the gray line, or the gray bars in the bottom, is the units that were over 1.5 million. You know, that used to be really the luxury line. I might have to change this at some point or just abandon that, because as we get here to the end, with our median price getting so high, the numbers are just kind of, well, the median price is going to be higher than what we typically see in here. And so it's going to be over what we used to call the luxury market. So things are changing, I would say. What you're looking at right now, this orange line that squiggles up and down, is the median price for each month. And so, you know, it's going to vary a little bit. We don't have a huge market, and so you're going to see some ups and some downs. But pay attention over here at the end. Just a couple months ago, back in December, our median price for a house was $985,000. This combines South Kohala and North Kona. So, you know, you just have to understand, let me put that number there. There we go. You have to understand that this is both markets combined, so that's why these numbers are going to look a little different than what I just talked to you about. But I like large sample sizes, and that's what this does. You can see that we've had a really big run here since December. I can't see anywhere in our chart 2 consecutive months where it moved up that much. Really, really impressive. Let's look over at the condo chart real quick. And you're seeing more of the same, 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive months going upwards. It looks like it's finally plateauing over between February and March. But the median price for a condo in March for this side of the island, $755,000. Used to be $750 was my luxury number on that. So you look at the gray bar down here on the bottom, you'll see we had 25 units sold under $750 and 27 over $750,000. So people are spending more money on the condos. Now, why are they buying more condos? Why was it hard last year, and why is it doing good this year? Last year, the vacation rental condos started entering in what is a normal market for vacation rentals in terms of being an owner. You know, remember, a lot of these vacation rental owners of the condos, they've had some really good times over the last few years when a lot of people were traveling here to Hawaii, a lot of extra income to spend, a lot of countries you couldn't go to, so we were seeing very high occupancy rates and high nightly rental rates. The world has opened back up. People are able to travel everywhere, and so some people are traveling to other places besides Hawaii, and so you're seeing some of these condos have what is a traditional occupancy rate of around 75% or so. So last year, this is when this started happening. You didn't have quite as high of occupancy rates. People weren't investing in these condos because they weren't making quite as much money as before. What's changed this year? Well, we have more regulations coming in. They're going to make it even harder to do hosted rentals inside your house, which a lot of people do here in Hawaii, which means the places that you can do rentals, these condos, are more attractive, and you're going to have less competition here in the market. So I think you're seeing people get back into the vacation rental condo market because it's a good place to put some money, simply because we are once again restricting the use of short-term vacation rentals out here in Hawaii. You can have your opinions on that. I have mine, but that's what's happening here in the market, specifically with condos at this moment. I will have another video soon of one of the things we're going to have to look out for with condos, some new information that's coming up relating to insurance. So stay tuned for that one, because I do want to inform you guys of some challenges on the horizon. Finally, I'm going to show you a really crazy chart. This is my ultra luxury market. This is the 90th percentile sale on a 3-month rolling average of a residential property in North Kona and South Kohala. I know that's a mouthful. Basically, I take the houses that are on this side of the island, put them all together over 3 months, and then look for the 90th percentile sale. And you can see that, you know, from way back when, the 90th percentile sale back in June of 2020 was $1.6 million. That was the 90th percentile. Now we're talking about a median price in Kona of nearly 1.5 million. So yeah, things have changed. We had a big run up at one point in, it looks like May of 2021. I remember we saw a spike in values back then. A lot of people were buying really expensive homes. This is like when some of the early money was coming out from the CARES Act 1 and 2, and some people were spending a lot of money. It settled back down, but still went in a generally upward direction. Actually, I guess you could say it stayed pretty flat here in the 2.2 to 2.5 range for a good 14, 18 months. And then, holy cow, what happened in January, February, and March of 2024? A bunch of people signed some contracts at the end of the year and spent a lot of money at the beginning of 2024. So much so that at one point, that means at one point, the 90th percentile sale was $6.625 million. That is interesting. That's a lot of money coming into the market. Even here in March, looking back for basically the first 3 months of the year, the 90th percentile sale so far this year was $4,875,000. So we are seeing a big spike there in the luxury market. This is what happened, though. I want to point this out to people. We saw that big spike here in May, June of 2021 before. And what happened after that? That's when things kept moving up, not necessarily in the luxury market, but in the rest of the market as well. So maybe some people know something up here in this rarefied air that a lot of other people don't, and maybe something else is coming. I am hearing people talk that this market is getting ready to take off. It depends on what you mean by that, I guess. I would say that there's definitely potential for things to pick up, but interest rates do have a place here, and interest rates are now back at around 7%. Every time we get some economic data that they're expecting interest or inflation to go down, it seems like inflation stays the same or goes up. Now, historically, we're still in a great interest rate place. Inflation is not high. It's 3.5%. That's not high. Unemployment is at its lowest ever, so those numbers look pretty good. People have more individual wealth than they ever had, usually in home equity, like they've never had before. So it's really an interesting time. I think people are becoming accustomed to interest rates, but if somehow the inflation got under control, I feel like interest rates would come down to sub 6, and if they're 5 point anything, 5.9, I think you'll see a bunch of people come into this market. What's that going to do? Well, it's going to raise interest rates. So I kind of feel like the idea that we're going to get back to 5.5% is not foreseeable to me at this point. I feel like there's so many people on the sidelines waiting to spend money, particularly in real estate, that as soon as interest rates start going down, you're incrementally going to see people come up and spend some money. And I just don't think that enough people hold off to ever see 5.5 for the next 2 years. I think there's just so many people waiting that the money's a little too expensive, and they're not putting their own money into a house right now because they're doing pretty well in the stock market. That's at another record too. So I just don't feel like we're going to have a 2022, but at 20% something gains so far year over year for the median price for Kona, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. All right, I hope you like this video. Got more for you in the corner. See you again real soon.